Debate politics. Kelly O'Dwyer, member for Higgins and representative of the Liberal Party. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tom. Good afternoon, Richard.
And that's Richard Marles, the Shadow Minister for Immigration and member for Corio. Good afternoon, Richard.
Hi, Tom. Kelly, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Now, before we discuss Darren Lyon's Geelong video, can I just ask you, a 19-year-old's sister of one of our producers today ran through the Victorian Liberal, or actually Coalition front bench, and she's decided to base her vote on purely what she saw in this photo. She said that Louise Asher had a forced smile. The Premier, Dennis Napthine, was too upright and looked bossy. The leader of the National Party obviously doesn't like being in photos. That's Peter Ryan. That Mary Wooldridge looked a bit sloppy because she had her top button undone. That David Davis looked too old. That Matthew Guy, the Planning Minister, looked a bit weird. And that Michael O'Brien, the State Treasurer, simply looked the most normal of the group.
Normal's what we're shooting for.
Normal's good.
What we're shooting for.
Well, he clearly achieved that.
In all seriousness, I mean, do you worry a lot about your appearance? Not that either of you need to, but...
Well, unfortunately, people do judge you in public life on your appearance. I mean, I will never forget the very first day I was out there campaigning. I'd set up my call flute, I had my materials to hand out, and I'd distributed some information to people which had just hit letterboxes, and this lady was jogging past, and she jogged back and she said to me, "Oh, I hear you're a lawyer just like me." And I said, "Oh, yes," thinking we've got something in common. She said, "I've read a bit about you." She said, "And I really had to ask you something very important." I thought, here is the big policy question she is about to ask me. She said, "You know what? With your hair up, you look like a young Bromwich bishop. You should really wear it down." So
you should wear it down.
Yeah, and who says I don't listen to constituents? My hair is down today.
So, Richard, you're known as one of the more debonair dressers in the federal parliament.
With your red cardigan.
You don't wear a coral pink V-neck jumper and a striped tie on occasion. Do the male MPs worry about their appearance? I mean, clearly some of them do not, but in general?
Look, to a degree. I suppose the way to answer that is I worry about my appearance more than I ever have in my life, but I wouldn't say that it preoccupies me. I really would be interested in your view on this, Kelly. I do think it is one of the real differences which makes it harder for women in politics. I mean, basically we wear a uniform. You wear a suit and you get to, choose your tie, but there's not a lot of thinking that we have to do. And I guess watching Julia...
Well, you don't even get to choose your tie. I mean, it's red ties on the Labor side and blue on the Coalition.
It was blue for a while, though. Well, it was blue under Kevin Rudd.
I have to choose which of the red ties I'm going to wear. But you know what? Looking at Julia up close, I think it was a hard thing for her, I reckon. And I think the attention she got was not... I mean, I'm not sure about this, but I doubt she expected it in the way it came.
Well, Kelly O'Dwyer, I mean, women are in the minority in all parliaments in Australia, and Julia Gillard did, her fashion choices seem to get far more attention, whereas I don't recall anybody ever saying that, Malcolm Turnbull didn't wear a very well-matched shirt and tie or anything like that. Do you think women get unfairly targeted for their clothes rather than what they think about things?
Well, I think there was a lot of criticism of Julia, some of which was very well founded because of her policies, of course, and I think nobody could dispute the fact that people are entitled to their views on that. When it comes to what people wear, I think Julie Bishop gets a lot of commentary on how she dresses. It's a lot more positive, I suspect, than with Julia. But look, frankly, what people should really be focused on is what people are doing, what they're saying, what the policies are, what the differences are. The battle of ideas is really what we should all be focused on.
Well, speaking of that, Jackie Lambie, I spoke with her just about half an hour ago. She's come out and said that, if Clive Palmer doesn't bend on this issue of pay for the ADF, she'll leave the Palmer United Party and serve as an independent in the Senate. But on this issue of how much to pay our serving Defence Force members, do you think a 1.5% increase was enough?
Well, look, this is what the independent tribunal determined was fair and was appropriate. A 1.5% increase over the next 3 years, each year in November. Now, that's something that this independent tribunal has come up with. It's off the back of the fact that there have been significant increases, I suppose, in past years. It's also off the back of the fact that we are in a fiscally constrained environment right
Richard,
now.
what do you think? I mean, can you just hand it over to the Defence Force Tribunal and leave it at that?
I think that this is a piddling amount. I think this was Tony Abbott said he was going to lead a government of no surprises. I think it would be a surprise to every member of the Defence Force that at a time when people are being asked to be put in harm's way, or being sent to be put in harm's way, you've got an effective cut to real wages, and that's what this represents. And
well, Richard, you did that in 2013, in 2014, and in 2012 and 2013. You delivered exactly the same thing under your previous government.
At a time when when our serving personnel are being asked to go into harm's way, there is an effective real wage pay cut. And what the Prime Minister has made completely clear is that that's a sign of things to come across the whole of the public service. And if it is about saving money, then the paid parental leave scheme surely can go.
Well,
that's dead in the water anyway, isn't
it? Can I just make a point on that? I mean, Richard, to give a lecture on how strong the Labor Party is on defence. I mean, you were the party that cut $16 billion from the defence budget. You ripped it out of defence. You also took the spending on the defence budget down to the lowest level since 1938.
All right, the debate continues in a moment. 96900 693. Have a say as well. 13 13 32. It's 17 to 5.
Hi, Bruce Lever here, and the summer of cricket returns tonight.
It went very high, it went very long, it went for 6.
Join Tim Lane, Dean Jones, Damien Fleming and myself as we bring you all the action as Australia takes on South Africa in the second T20 of the season, live from the MCG.
Out! Outside edge, Watson snabbled it.
The summer of cricket, powered by Harvey Norman.
Tonight from 7 on 3AW.
The Sunday Age City to Sea, presented by Westpac, is back and better than ever before. The new 14-kilometre course starts at the MCG, goes past Fed Square and Flinders Street Station, and continues on to a spectacular finish by St Kilda Beach. Run with friends and raise money for charity with a special gold entry, or tackle the 5K course as a family on Sunday, November 16. Both courses feature a stellar music lineup to keep you energised from city to sea. Enter now at thecitytosea.com.au.
It's barbecue time, and if you haven't experienced Weber Q flavour, then check out a cooking demonstration at your local Weber specialist dealer. Taste amazing steaks, roast, even pizza tomorrow at 10, 11, 12 and 1. As barbecue guru Bob Hart will testify, a specialist dealer is the place to buy your Weber.
That's right. Licensed Weber specialists have the know-how. Whether it's the brand new Weber Qs or other great Weber gas barbecues or the classic Weber kettles, they have everything you need to be the master of your barbecue.
Find your nearest Weber specialist dealer at weberbbq.com.au.
A great performer has presence on stage. They work hard at engaging audiences. Even after the curtain falls, they leave a lasting impression. These qualities make them stand out from the rest. Tobin Brothers Funerals is a perfect example. After 80 years, they continue to shine. They dare to be different with everything they do and provide the community with education, training and information programs. These distinguishing qualities make Tobin Brothers Funerals the true performers they are. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
To be totally honest with you, without Slater and Gordon, I wouldn't have gotten to where I am now. Just because they were there. It was someone to sort of refer to, someone to fall back on, and yeah, I couldn't have been happier, to be honest, because every time we had a query, they would be there to actually call us and let us know first.
If you've been hurt in a car or transport accident, we'll guide you every step of the way through the legal process to help you get the best outcome possible. Call Slater and Gordon Lawyers on 1800 555 777.
On 9 News, Carl Williams' stepdaughter in court over an attempted murder. A mum's fears for a missing Elwood teen. The Rolling Stones leave angry fans hanging, and a chance to make a Bonnie Doon shack your castle. 9 News at 6.
At Bankwest, we understand that when you own a business, you need all the support you can get, especially from your bank. That's why we created a dedicated small business section on our website, making it easier for you to access the tools, tips and information you need to start, manage or grow your business. As Smart Investors Business Bank of the Year for 2 years running, it's all part of our commitment to supporting you in achieving your business goals. So visit us today at bankwest.com.au/small business.
ENS Trading's massive bathroom sale is on now. Receive 20% off RRP across our entire bathroom range, including Jessie, Kohler, Duravit, Villeroy & Boch and more. Our massive bathroom sale must end November 23rd. Visit estrading.com.au.
Until 6, Drive with Tom Elliott.
13 to 5. Shirley, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tom and
Kelly and Richard.
And Kelly.
Yes.
Look, I want to ask you both, do you think that people are calling the election too early? the state election? I personally think they are. What do you think?
Well, you mean the result?
Yeah, the result. Yeah. I mean, I said earlier on the program that Daniel Andrews has knocked back a preference deal with the Greens, and I interpreted that as meaning he thinks he's going to win, so he doesn't need to do a preference deal. What do you think, Richard? You're a keen student of Labor politics.
I think the election's going to be close, and to that extent, I probably agree with Shirley, and I think it's going to be fought out to the very last day. And I mean, I think Daniel's doing a great job, and I do think jobs is going to be the issue at the state election. But there's certainly a lot of water to go under the bridge, and I wouldn't be calling it yet.
Kelly, I mean, you're obviously both of you are federal MPs, but you're both Victorian MPs as well. Now, the unemployment rate in Victoria has edged up now. It's I think pushing 6.8% at the. It's gone from being one of the best in Australia to now one of the worst, behind only Tassie and Queensland. Do you think jobs, as Richard said, is a big issue in the state election?
Look, I think it's certainly one of the big issues, and I agree with Shirley, it's far too early to call it. I agree with Richard in that regard as well, but I also think it's about who is best able to manage the economy, who is best able to actually create the right environment so that we can have more jobs in this state. And we have, under the Napthine government and under the leadership as well of the State Treasurer, Michael O'Brien, we have a AAA rated economy here, and that means that we can...
mostly normal Michael O'Brien.
Absolutely, and it means that we can actually deliver the services and the infrastructure that is vital for our state, such as the East-West link, which I think, something that clearly Daniel Andrews doesn't rate. He's going to rip it up if he gets into government.
Darren, what's the word on the street?
How are you, mate?
Yeah, good.
About 10, 15 minutes, actually it was closer to 4 o'clock, I came past the big fire that's burning out at Turin, mate.
Oh, yeah. Is it near the airport?
It is, mate. It's towards the end of the airport, but there's actually a house just at the back of the airport there. It's actually burning in one of the little feeder creeks just behind that house.
So it's not in the house itself, but it's in some bush near a creek there?
Yeah, it's burning. Yeah, that's right. It's burning in the creek in amongst all the mangroves. But listen, I've seen probably there was one truck arrive when I pulled over on the side of the road. I've taken some photos, so I'll send them to you.
That'd be great, Darren.
I've also, there's been a lot of those, the little DEPU cars heading up there.
Yeah, DEPI.
So we've probably got about 10 or 15 units on site.
All right, thanks, Darren. Send us some photos. Drive at 3aw.com.au. We've had quite a few people ringing up about this fire near Turin Airport. Thanks for the call, Darren. Lorraine, hello.
Hello. I just want to ask Kelly how much her salary increased.
Yeah, no, I asked Jackie Lambie this before. So the ADF members are getting 1.5%. What is the average annual increase of a senior federal politician like yourself?
Well, the Prime Minister's actually put a freeze on all of federal politicians' wages. Lorraine, he's actually put a freeze on that, so we're not going to be getting any increase in our wages. Well, sorry, you asked me about the increase. We're certainly not getting any increase in our wages.
How much did you get over the last 12 months? What increase?
Well, I couldn't actually tell you the answer to that. I can tell you, Lorraine, though, that I took a pay cut when I went into politics. I know that I'm on a very good wage as a federal MP, but I actually lowered my wage when I went into politics.
But you expect our men and women of the Defence Force to take a 1.5...
It's a wage increase. It's not a wage cut.
No,
it's a wage increase of 1.5%.
No, that is a disgrace. You are a disgrace. Honestly.
Well, thank you, Lorraine.
I respectfully disagree with you, Lorraine.
Well, I mean, it's an issue, though. I mean, I will say it is a public service thing where your pay goes up with inflation. I mean, in the private sector that doesn't happen, but...
I don't think that... I mean, there's... Well, what we're going to see in the public sector over the coming 12 months is a set of negotiations between the government and the public sector about what increases they get.
Who sits on the Defence Force Remuneration Tribunal?
I think I stand to be corrected on this, but it used to be members of what was then the Australian Industrial Relations Commission would sit with a dual commission on the Defence Force Review Tribunal, and I think that would be the case in terms of Fair Work Australia.
I actually don't. I don't know the answer to that.
We will find out. That's your homework for both of you the next time we see you in 2 weeks' time. Kelly O'Dwyer and Richard Marles, thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Good to see you.
All right, we'll find out who sets the pay for the soldiers, the sailors and the airmen. All right, in a moment...